stylish group of players as they came down the tunnel earlier. So important to these players to perform well in front of their fans. Greetings, everyone. Welcome to 2K Sports and another exciting edition of NBA Ball. I'm Brian Anderson, here with Grant Hill and Stan Van Gundy. And with us on the sidelines, we've got Allie LaForce. And for an idea of how the league is shaping up right now, take a look at these latest power rankings. You look at Portland, they've come down in the rankings a little, landing in the 5th spot for now.
Well, seeing where this home team is right now, they haven't stormed out of the gates, but they're still in a good spot. They just have to work some things out. Still, though, a very impressive squad.
Here's the starting group for Portland. They've got Hayes, and it's Chamberlain in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. They've got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He's out there with James Harden, and it's Olajuwon in at the center position. If you like slow-paced basketball, you've come to the wrong place. These teams love to run.
Oh, they love to run. I mean, these teams score a great deal of transition baskets. They want to use their speed, their quickness, and attack the defense before it gets set.
Pass to Drexler. Here's Pippen. The three. Drains the triple.
You don't want to let him get into a rhythm from out there.
And here's Gilgeous-Alexander. Here's Harden. Ooh, a little luck that time as it drops.
Such an aggressive offensive player. Harden is ready to shoot whenever he's got the rock.
Pass to Hayes. Here's Pippen. Here's Chamberlain. Shot clock at 6. Hayes with a screen. Here's Pippen. Three-pointer, no good. From deep three-point range. And it's Bird missing.
And the shooter had very little space on that attempt.
There's no air space there whatsoever. That's as close as you can get without foul.
He challenges the defender and throws it down with 2 hands.
Man, just straight power on that one. Clear the deck. We played just over a minute here in the first. Pass to Abdul-Jabbar. Back to Harden. Here's Bird. For 3. Rebounded by Stockton.
Given his range, you'd expect him to capitalize on that opening.
Pippen. Man, he can't sink that one. He's 2 for 4 in the contest. Gone 0 for 2 from outside. Here's Harden. Got a hand on it. Hits an even 3-on-3 break. Here's Drexler. There's the steal. Here's Bird. Chamberlain pulls it in.
Just 1 for 5. Not the start they were looking for. Obviously, there's still plenty of time to get on track.
One-handed slam right there.
And that's why you don't give up on the glass.
Man, his efforts well rewarded right there.
Well, that's what he does. He makes an impact with his activity on the board.
And stolen by Hayes. Pass to Pippen. Into the lane. Here's Chamberlain.
Home team foul. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. First personal foul. Second team foul. Substitution on the court.
Here's Stockton. Gilgeous-Alexander defending. It's rebounded by Olajuwon. Gone 1 of 5 to start things off. Pass to Bird. Three-pointer. And that comes off the assist by Gilgeous-Alexander.
Yeah, the guard instincts of Gilgeous-Alexander. I mean, fantastic work dishing the rock to uncover teammates.
Stockton has to Havlicek.
2 minutes remaining in the first. 2 minutes.
There's a minute 59 left in the first quarter here. Offensive rebound. Now here's Hayes. Inside. Here's Drexler. And down it goes. Dunked it through off a beautiful setup.
Putting that pass right in his stride. Didn't have to slow up and was able to complete the play.
And Kenny Atkinson has called a timeout. He wants to give him a breather and talk things over. Here, the 2K leaderboard shows us which teams made the most of their second chance opportunities last year. Portland in second.
Right here, these two teams really cashed in on the offensive glass, creating extra points out of nothing.
And first quarter, we're about 3.5 minutes in. Gilgeous-Alexander with the ball. 15 in his last outing. Down low. And finished off by Davis.
And Shea's playmaking is really exceptional. Highlighted there with the perfect pass.
Pass to Havlicek. Here's Pettit. Davis with the defensive effort.
Got the ball where he wanted it, but then got swarmed.
Harden from outside. Portland with a rebound.
And last year's games were interesting to watch, considering that each team came out with a win against the other.
This is a potential finals preview, as good as it gets early in the season.
Pounding it inside early and often, setting a physical tone.
Pass to Butler. Takes a three. That's in there. Davis with the assist.
Not necessarily a staple of Butler's game, but there reminding the defense he can drain it from deep.
Here's Drexler. We saw him with 19 his last time out. Now 5 seconds separating the shot clock and the game clock. Outside Gilgeous-Alexander. 16 seconds left to play in the first. 5 to shoot. The three is up. The shot that time not on target. Well, a good close contest so far as we finish the first quarter. Portland ahead. They lead by 2. And we'll be back in just a minute with the start of the second quarter. Good action already in this one, but a fairly even matchup after this first quarter of play. And a moment here to take a look at the scoring breakdown for Portland.
Well, their game plan has been very effective so far. They're working the ball inside, putting constant pressure on the defense.
And from the jump, they've also clearly been focused on running effective plays here tonight. And there's been a lot of high-quality distribution from them on the floor.
Davis out there with Bam Adebayo. Then there's Tyrese Halliburton. Then there's Butler. And it's Bird in at the 3 spot. And he hits it to tie the game. Bird's got 5.
And Butler is someone any coach would love to have. You see why with passes like these.
And for Portland, and it's Chamberlain in at the 5. Here's Frazier from the baseline. Chamberlain, no good.
Well, the analytics don't like it, but if the defense is giving it up, I like that shot selection despite the miss.
Butler out there with Halliburton. Then there's Davis. Then it's Bam Adebayo. And it's Bird in at the small forward position. Here's Kuzi. Pass to Frazier. And with today's switching defensive style, versatile wing players are tremendously in demand, Coach.
Yeah, well, Position now, Brian, comes down to who can you guard, and guys that can guard 3, 4, 5 different positions, those 6'7", 6'8" guys are often able to do that, and they are extremely valuable.
And it's Bird missing.
Yeah, and the defense really respects his shooting ability, and they showed it with that tight coverage. And just terrible defense. I don't know how he missed that shot.
Now Butler. Butler right to the heart.
Putting his body to work in the paint. Butler using his athletic skills to get it done.
Pass to Pippen. Here's Pettit. Check by Davis. Shoots from the block. And so he draws the foul. Headed to the line to shoot a pair. It's going to be on Anthony Davis. It's his first trip to the line.
At the line for the away team, Bob Pettit. 2 shots.
He misses the free throw. James Harden, he's checked in for Butler. Portland making a switch here. And he's good on the second. Now approaching 2 minutes of action here in the second. Halliburton looking over the floor. It's stolen away. Here's Frazier. Check by Davis. Frazier's shot is off. Gone 2 of 4 here in the second quarter. Pass to Halliburton. Now here's Harden. 15 in his last outing. Clock at 4. Here's Abdul-Jabbar. It's tipped. Here's Drexler, defended by Harden. They get it back. And that one is hammered home.
And now that's a momentum builder for sure. So important in a close game.
Look at his teammates here. They love it. Plays like that to get them going.
Yes, some guys shrink in big moments, and some rise to the occasion.
And Kenny Atkinson has called a timeout. And we might see some changes. Coach potentially looking to adjust. Teams will make substitutions. And let's use this time to have a look at last year's steals leaders. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander on top.
And we saw how effective he was on defense last season, taking pride in mucking things up and being an absolute pest, grabbing all those steals.
Here in quarter 2, we've played a little over 2.5 minutes now. Harden from outside, and the three-pointer goes. Harden's got 5 points.
He saw he had an opening, and Harden took it.
Here's the pick. Here's Stockton. No points so far.
2 minutes.
Pass to Havlicek. Just 5 on the clock. Here's Pippen. And Butler with the block. And this is what the schedule looks like for Portland. On Wednesday, they'll go up against Gordon Hayward. And then on Thursday, they'll be taking on Chris Middleton and the Washington Wizards.
And that game against the Nets, it's one that I'm curious about. It'll be their 6th contest of the season for them, and a game that should have a lot of great matchups.
Now here's Harden. He's got 5. Pass to Butler. Puts up a deep 3. And it's Mikan with a rebound.
Gotta love how they've been crashing the boards, fighting hard for every miss.
Oh, there's the alley. And here's Gilgeous-Alexander. The ball's knocked loose. And so the ball out of bounds. Gilgeous-Alexander touched it last.
Checking in for Portland, number 9, Bob Pettit.
For Portland, they've gone 1 for 6 in the second quarter. Not great. Pass to Stockton. Here's Drexler. The 3. Again, the miss by Portland. Gone 1 for 3 from downtown here in the second. Gilgeous-Alexander looking it over. Now Harden. Outside Butler. From downtown. It's hauled in by Pettit. 2 for 1 opportunity if they can time it right.
Great way to end the quarter.
Pass to Drexler. The teardrop. And it's blocked by Davis.
That's what happens when you challenge Davis. He can be so disruptive as a defender.
Can't hit. 1 for 2 now. Portland has gone 0 for 2 from outside in the second quarter. Here's Stockton. Gilgeous-Alexander defending. Here's Stockton. Here's Pippen. Oh, he got it up in time, but it wouldn't fall for him. And we're through the first half of play here in what's been a good one. They lead by 2. And time now for the halftime break with the third quarter soon to follow on 2K Sports.
I like how they've been eating the glass. Figuratively, no one should eat glass.
Just barbecue chicken.
It's the centerpiece of healthy, balanced diet, Ernie.
And guys, let's take a moment to recognize the top performer for each squad thus far.
When you have 2 players going at each other like this, it becomes a point of pride. That's when the sparks fly. That's when it gets interesting.
For us and for the fans watching. Thanks for joining us. Time to head back over to the third quarter with Brian Anderson.
And in that first half, we saw a pretty tight battle. We'll soon find out what sort of adjustments were discussed during halftime. And it just seems like shelf life for head coaches gets shorter and shorter. Stan, even winning coaches aren't safe.
Yeah, even the teams in the top 2 or 3 of their conference are sometimes opting to make a change. In that kind of environment, it's a challenge to coach with any real authority.
On the court right now for Portland, they've got Hayes, and it's Drexler in a shooting guard. Shooting 35% so far in this one. Takes the 3. Portland with a rebound. For the tie. He blocks it again.
Yeah, as dominant a defensive performer as you will ever find.
And that moves him into a tie for third place in all-time blocks.
And when you're up there with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, that's one heck of an accomplishment.
Here's Drexler. 6 points for him. And for those tuning in, we're about a minute into this second half. Again, the miss by Portland.
Coming out stone cold here. Sometimes the break will do that to you.
Outside Gilgeous-Alexander. Back to Harden. Pass to Gilgeous-Alexander. The three ball. Drexler grabs the board. Portland trails by 4. Out to the right wing. Lets the three fly. And the basket by Pippen. Pippen's gotten his third basket of the night.
Put the first 3 misses behind them and finally ended their third quarter drought.
On the wing, Harden. To the paint. Bird, that's good. Bird's got 7 points.
And remember, James Harden is usually a front runner in the league in assists. He has great vision.
And Chauncey Billups calls timeout. He wants to make sure everybody's on the same page.
Well, he's been off the mark, and it's impacting his team's ability to put points on the board. He needs to reset his approach.
It's the 2K leaderboard showing the teams with the most points off turnovers last season.
It seemed like almost every time they forced an error, they converted on it. Not just winning turnovers, but taking them to the bank.
Pass to Hayes. To the wing, right side. For the tie. Pippen, no good.
He's been just a little off the mark tonight. Really the story of the game so far.
Gilgeous-Alexander with the ball. Still without a bucket. Olajuwon passes to Harden. Off the mark with the outside fadeaway.
Yeah, not his best night in terms of shot selection. Lucky for him, his teammates have picked up the slack.
Stockton. Oh, it's blocked by Gilgeous-Alexander.
Read the eyes of the ball handler, and Gilgeous-Alexander able to get a hand up in time.
Three-pointer, Harden. That one's good. And so Gilgeous-Alexander with the assist. Gilgeous-Alexander's got his 4th assist in this one. Here's Stockton. Tries it from 16, and he drops that one in. Pippen's got 5 points in the quarter.
Well, with his skill and confidence with the ball, if you put him in position, he'll reward you.
Here's Harden. It's Hayes with the rebound. Hayes has got 4 rebounds in the game.
Well, he continues to make the effort, but the results just aren't there this quarter.
And they're able to recover. Pippen, pass to Chamberlain. Over Harden. Chamberlain, no good. Gotten just 3 of 8 shots to go in the third quarter. Gilgeous-Alexander passes to Bird. The offensive rebound. Second chance shot. No good on the layup. Portland trails by 4. Boy, they need something to go to regain some confidence.
No question. Way too many empty possessions for them.
Chamberlain passes to Stockton. Here's Drexler. Gilgeous-Alexander defending. Drexler, that's good. Drexler's got 8.
Assertive move. You can tell the game's heating up a bit.
Outside Harden. Pass to Bird. 3-pointer. Portland with a rebound. Hayes has got rebound number 5 here tonight. And he drives in. Pippen, no good. Shooting a less than average 27% in the third quarter. 3-pointer, Harden. He buries it from 3. 11 points in the game.
Well, he's going back to the arc. He might be building some momentum from range here in the second half.
Pass to Pippen. To the middle. Here's Stockton. A rebound by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
I mean, come on. That's a shot you expect him to make.
Here's Olajuwon. The putback. He knocks it down, but wait a minute. The officials getting together here. They may want to review this one, and not so fast.
The previous play is under review.
Make sure they got it right before we go to the fourth.
Yeah, they're going to review that shot to make sure he got it off in time, but I think it's going to count.
After the review, the ruling on the floor is overturned.
And after reviewing the play, it looks like they're overturning the call here. That basket is good.
It would have been a real shame if those points didn't count. I'm so glad the officials were able to take a second look and make the right call.
And we've reached the end of the third. They lead by 7. And time to step away quickly, but we'll be back in no time with the start of the fourth quarter. The fourth quarter has arrived. So good to have you with us. Portland trails by 7. Halliburton is out there with James Harden. Then there's Jimmy Butler. Then there's Davis. And it's Abdul-Jabbar in at the 5 down low. Here's Pettit. Connects on the foul line jumper.
Stepping up in the big moment. I mean, an incredible job of finding his shot.
Nice job taking the initiative. Coaches will encourage you to take that if you have a good look.
And you just can't afford to give up that kind of look very often.
Here's Drexler.
Oh! Wow!
Boom! He jams it straight down.
Oh, man. He got fancy with that finish.
He may be trying to provide the spark they need to break this one open. Just an awesome display of athleticism on our AT&T 5G Slam Cam. Now here's Halliburton. Outside Harden. Lets it fly. Portland with a rebound. Pettit's got 4 rebounds in the game. Here's Drexler. And he throws it down with one hand.
And once he gets to the rim, it's fairly automatic.
Nothing fancy right there. Just takes his 2 points, moves on. Three-pointer, Harden. It's hauled in by Pettit. Pettit's got 5 rebounds tonight. Boy, the offense has been on point.
They have great timing and great communication. So hard to get stops against them. The defense there doing whatever they can to protect the rim.
At the line for the away team, Walt Frazier. 2 shots.
Shooting 2.
Ties it up, and his next one could give him the lead. So it's both teams making substitutions here. And now they lead as the free throw drops in for him.
That's what he does. Rock solid at the line.
Outside Harden. About a minute and a half through the fourth quarter now. Pass to Abdul-Jabbar. And miss after miss right now. For Portland, they've gone a perfect 3 for 3 here in the fourth. Here's Pippen. It's rebounded by Olajuwon. Olajuwon's got rebound number 8 here already in the game. Here's Harden. And the layup is good.
I love it. When Harden shoots, he commits. A little contact isn't going to upset his mechanics.
And Portland's shooting a low 31%. Their offense is lacking. Frazier, the pass to Pippen. There's a screen. Here's Frazier. Jacks up a three. Again, the miss by Portland.
And he probably thought he was going to bury that one.
Now Butler. And there's a whistle. He'll head to the line to shoot two.
Well, Butler is good at creating contact because he is so assertive offensively.
Jimmy Butler.
No good on the free throw.
This guy is tough as nails. You love Butler's competitive spirit.
And he sinks the second.
He missed the chance to put them up by 3. You know he'd like to have that one back.
And Chauncey Billups calls timeout, looking to get everyone dialed in and engaged.
Who wants a free t-shirt? Make some noise!
Check in with our reporter, Allie LaForce.
During that break, Coach Chauncey Billups had some advice for the team. They said in the huddle, this is it. No excuses. Let's figure out a way to win. A couple of players spoke as well, firing up their teammates. A great ending could be in store, guys.
Allie, thank you. Just over 2.5 minutes played now. Final quarter of regulation. Hayes, the pass to Stockton. To the left side wing. Here's Drexler. Yep, that one's good.
Look at what he's doing here, and it's hard to imagine him playing much better.
Second team foul. Shooting for Portland. Clyde Drexler. One shot.
One shot.
And that one misses. Gone 0 for 2 from outside here in the fourth quarter. Takes a big high bounce and goes in.
And that was the right decision. When you're in need of a bucket, you go to your most trusted guys.
Yeah, he got a good look, and he calmly delivered for them. That's what you like to see.
To the inside. They're running. The pull-up. Rebounded by Pippen.
Well, he just hasn't found his rhythm tonight, partly because he's gotten fewer touches.
Here's Drexler. And he can't get that one. Good work defensively by Gilgeous-Alexander. Pass to Olajuwon. Harden from outside. Pure from three-point range. Harden's got 11 points here in the second half.
Oh, can you say important bucket by Harden? James always wants the ball in these moments. Love it.
Here's Drexler. Here's Pippen. From the wing. And it's good as he snugs it right through the net. Gone 1 for 3 in the fourth quarter from range. Harden from outside. Portland with a rebound. Here's Pippen. Pass to Drexler. Takes it in. Oh, okay!
Oh, my gosh.
There is absolutely no fear in his eyes. He loves the moment.
Yeah, and I can say from experience, his coach just breathed a huge sigh of relief.
Now here's Harden. Here's Abdul-Jabbar. He's defended by Hayes.
Everyone knows Harden is a talented passer. He can really rack up those assists.
About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. And Chauncey Billups calls timeout. And coach didn't want to take any chances in this situation, which is why he called the TO. .7 seconds left in the game. Here's Drexler. And it's in. Oh, what a sensational bucket. That brings him within 1. And they foul intentionally. Now they're going to have to do that again. They're not in the penalty just yet.
Yeah, no, you had to do that. I mean, you can't allow them to dribble out the time.
And he commits the intentional foul.
Second personal foul. Third team foul.
He drops the first one, and that'll put him up 2. And so he drops them both, and it's a 3-point game.
That was a giant trip to the line.
It's all about getting a 3 right here.
Yeah, and when your opponent knows what you need, it makes it that much harder to find an opening.
And they foul intentionally. That's what they have to do at this point.
Yeah, and there's no question they have to foul. Now, I'm sure they would have preferred to avoid it.
Taking 2 shots.
He gets the first, and that gives him a 4-point cushion. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's a 5-point game.
No doubt, that just about seals it.
Stockton, pass to Chamberlain. Hayes for 3. It's not going to go for him. So the home crowd happy here as they get the victory. I'm sure they would have preferred a blowout victory, but a win's a win.
And so true, but you have to credit the crowd for giving them such a big boost toward the end. It really kept this team's energy high.
And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Grant Hill, Stan Van Gundy, and Allie LaForce, this is Brian Anderson signing off. And we present the player of the game, James Harden.